Aladdin has a particularly high production value, especially a number like Friend Like Me. We've got set changes, costume changes, we've got pyro, we've got stuff happening all over the place, and the number absolutely stops the show every single night. I think that people can relate to the story. I think a lot of people can feel at times a little down on their luck. And I think a lot of people, I think the idea of being able to make 3 wishes to change your life around is pretty appealing. When the creative team was putting the show together before it went to Broadway, they went to Marrakesh to come up with inspiration for how the show should look. And they were inspired by the colors that they saw there and also by the shapes that they saw there. They noticed there were a lot of celestial and floral shapes in the show and not too many animal or human pictures depicted on the art there. So you can see that reflected in the design of the show, especially on the buildings. You can see the starburst on the buildings, the flowers on the buildings. Even on the base of these poles here, you could see that as well, and especially in the colors that you see in the show. Technically, we are the largest show on the road right now. We have 30 trucks of scenery. We have a second floor and a second set of everything in the air. And that structure in the air is meant to hold 38 tons of scenery. That will load in about a week before we get there. And then it takes about 3 days in the other end to load in the rest of our pieces. So we are a 30 truck monstrous show. So we've got a crew of 70 folks backstage. Those people are doing set changes, costume changes, lighting, audio, all kinds of things making the magic happen. That's a mix of traveling and local crew. I think one of my favorite moments in the show is when the magic carpet takes flight. I think people know that it's coming and we allude to it at the end of Act 1 and everybody's sort of waiting for that moment. But when the balcony breaks apart, sometimes you can hear the audience gasp. And I think especially at the end of the show, they still don't know. We spent a lot of time in the lobby for Broadway Cares and you can hear people being like, how did they do it? I didn't see anything. And I love when people ask me how the magic carpet works because they don't know, they can't figure it out. Well, I was working with a team of people. I went on the road in 2012 with Localizing, and this was the same team that called me to do Aladdin, the same team of stage managers. So it was great that I had already worked with them, and we had a shorthand, and I knew that they would have my back. But putting the show together in Chicago, definitely it felt like we were working at the highest level. It felt like we had the best crew surrounding us, and Disney Theatrical has been incredible to work for. It feels like there's no limitations. Yeah, our costume designer is Greg Barnes. There's over 300 individual pieces in the show. There are over 100 costume changes that take place in under a minute. A lot of those happen in Prince Ali. In fact, one of our costume changes is 30 seconds. The gentleman who does it, Kenway Kua, he is like a master class watching him do that costume change. But of course, he's done it like 1,700 times by now. So this is our lamp. All of the lamps made for Aladdin Productions are custom made. This lamp is 3D printed and then it's gold leafed. Our show lamps have a fogger inside of them, so it's specifically cut out inside to fit the fogger. We're especially protective of these because in travel or even in the action of the show, this part could break off, this part could break off, and we try to keep it looking great. It's iconic. Well, this is one of our sword carts. These swords are used in a number called High Adventure. It's a 14-person sword fight, and every day, 45 minutes before we start the show, we'll do a fight call, which means that we'll go through that number a little under show speed, make sure everybody's the right distance from each other. When you're supposed to duck, you're ducking, and that all the swords are making contact at the right place on the sword. And everybody, even if an understudy is on or a swing is on, that everybody's on the same page and knows what they need to do to stay safe. So at the top of the show, the Genie has a monologue right to the audience. So there's a city prop that we use. Instead of taking the lamp out of his pocket, in New York he takes out a Statue of Liberty, but on the road we try to make it relevant to the city. Here in East Lansing, it is a Michigan State hat.
And why is it so important?
I think to show that the Genie is the only one who can talk directly to the audience. And I think it's his first moment of really connecting with them and getting them excited, and to show that we're excited to be here too.